handles,
hooks, soap,
lino, white doors. Yep, that's right, I have been in DIY mode for the past week or so, painting a total of 4 doors front and back, fitting new handles, fitting new mechanisms in the handles, fitting hooks, doing lino in the bathroom and completely revamping the bathroom as well. All whilst my wife and 2 children have been away. So when they come back, they will have a fantastic, and I mean fantastic, surprise, because it looks so different. So I know you're going to be asking in the comment section below, well, where did your wife go with the children? Why didn't you go? Well, I'm happy to share that with you. You know me, I like chatting to you. And I've got no secrets really. So there are a few reasons why I didn't go. Now, first of all, where did they go? Well, my wife and 2 children went to the Philippines. My wife's family is in the Philippines. They went back to visit family. There were a few reasons I didn't go. The first one is I run 2 businesses here in the UK, and there were certain projects that I'm working on for clients that I just could not reschedule. It was impossible. So I decided that if I went, I would be tagging along. Obviously I would enjoy it, but also I would be always thinking about those projects that I was sort of really letting clients down more than anything. Secondly, I obviously run the Geekanoids channel, and it's very important for me to upload regularly, and I would always be thinking of videos as well. I know I could take a break from it, but I thoroughly enjoy doing it. The third reason, misconception here, so listen up. The misconception is that I'm absolutely loaded with money. I am not loaded with money. I work very hard to earn what I do, and to afford a 4th airfare would have been very difficult. We struggled to afford the 3 airfares, and I would much rather that my family went out there and enjoyed themselves with a little bit more spending money than me tag along spending that 4th airfare, extra expense, and then me also at the same time worrying about the money I wasn't earning and the business back home. Another reason, here we go, so many reasons. Milo, we've got our little Shih Tzu, and he is a very difficult dog. He really is. And even my experience with him the last week and a half to 2 weeks is that he's missing the others so much. He's been very down, even though I've been playing with him, taking him out for walks. He hasn't been eating properly. We could have put him in kennels, but it would have been really unfair, so I'd have much rather have taken care of him myself. And often pets do tie people to home, and I don't mind that. So anyway, whilst they were away, I decided it would be an epic surprise that when they returned, that the doors have all been changed from a horrible caramel colour, which they've been for about the last 12 years, to a nice fresh white colour, new handles, new hooks, new door fitments, new lino in the bathroom, fresh white paint everywhere, really looking good. Oh, and that awesome soap dispenser, which I'm really pleased with. And I just think it's going to be an epic surprise when they come back. Now, I know that over the past couple of weeks I've talked about being in DIY mode, which they may well have seen. The reason I didn't expand on that and I kept it all a secret was just in case they watch one of the videos. I mean, DIY could mean that I'm doing anything. I could just be changing a few light bulbs. So they won't have a clue as to the extent of the work I've actually done. And I doubt they'd have watched a video. They probably wouldn't have had time. But I know they've got Wi-Fi out there where they're staying, because they've been iMessaging me and done a few FaceTime calls. But I didn't want to talk about it for the last couple of weeks with you guys, because if they did watch a video, you know, it might just spoil the surprise. So that's why I've been so busy. Apart from doing the client videos and the projects I'm working on, and apart from doing the Geekanoids channel videos and all of the emails and normal business communications and day-to-day business activities and courier runs and parcels coming in, parcels going out, I've also managed to fit in all that DIY. And I don't like DIY, I've talked about this before. And to give you an idea of how much I've sort of struggled but learned at the same time, I always have this sort of foresight that something's going to go wrong with the DIY, and it's normally the last screw. I'll come on to that in a minute because it did happen. But basically, to do a door, I found that for doing the priming, well, first of all I had to fill in holes. So I had to fill in holes with wood filler, sand it down. That took about say half an hour to an hour per door. I had to remove one door as well to actually shave some off the bottom, so it made room for the new lino. Lino, for those who don't know, is the floor covering in the bathroom. And so after the door's been prepared, I then had to prime it. And to do one door, front and back and the sides, takes about an hour and a half per coat. And then to do the top coat, which is like a satin white finish, because I'm covering up such a dark coloured door, it would take an hour and a half per coat. And I did the bathroom door with the prime and then the top coat, and I thought, no, it doesn't look right. So I had to do a third coat, still didn't look right, had to do a fourth coat. Really, really annoying. So it's like 6 hours of painting on one door. Then I did the second door exactly the same. Then I switched primers on the other doors and I used a different sort of primer, and that seemed to cover it much, much better. And on the third and fourth door, I only had to do 2 coats, so a lot better, half the amount of time. Now, I have still got one door to do, and that's just a cupboard door, so that won't take too long, but I'm not going to get that done before they return. And then I wanted to talk to you about the screw situation. I've talked to you about hanging a picture just up here where it went wrong, the last nail wouldn't go in. Well, today I was finishing off the last door, and all I had to do was put a hook on. 2 screws. First screw went in fine, absolutely no issue at all. Second screw, almost got all the way in. I was turning and turning and turning. Guess what happened? The screw head snapped completely off. Couldn't get pliers on it to get it out, it was in there too tight. Couldn't bang it in with a hammer because it's a threaded screw, so it just wouldn't shift. So what I had to do is actually bang the screw down at an angle so it embedded into the door, fill it in with wood filler, which I'm now waiting to dry, and then I'm going to have to touch up that area with paint and then move the hook slightly to a slightly higher position and then screw it in with different screws, slightly smaller screws I'm going to go for this time. But yet again, at the conclusion to my DIY challenge for the past week and a half, the last screw wouldn't go in. Bugger, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. Obviously made me smile, and I enjoy sharing the story with you, but I just could not believe that that happened with the last screw. But anyway, it has been an experience. I've obviously been by myself for a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm missing my family so much. I really am. Can't wait for them to get back and obviously hear about all of their stories. And then we've got probably next year, or maybe the latter part of this year, we're trying to do a little holiday all together, if we can afford it. It's always difficult finding the funds because I work really hard to earn what I do. I'm not complaining, but I like to make sure that we've got something put aside for a rainy day, and also that my children, if they need something for their studies, and they've both got university coming up, that we've at least got something to help them for that. So it's really difficult budgeting, it really is, but we shall get there. We always find a way. Where you're really determined to do something, you always find a way. Well, at least I find that you can sort of find a way through, and that's pure determination. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. If you've got any DIY tips for me, please do leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you all again tomorrow.